Very good afternoon, I should say, to everyone. I know some of us took the time to come to listen, to have a great discussion on project management careers. It's a topic of great interest. I know a lot of persons look at this recording after. So if you're joining us live, welcome. If you're not live and you're listening to us at another point, of course, you can still contact us and we will provide whatever information that you want. So thank you. So let's go. So we will have a conversation, show a couple slides for about 30 minutes or so, because I know it's, after lunch, and normally after lunch, people get a little tired. So we'll take it for about 30 minutes. For those of us who don't know me, my name is Shavani Sinarai. So what are we about to discuss? And if you have any questions, feel free to type in the chat. Yeah. Hi, good afternoon to Ruth and Hamu. Yeah. Joining us, Alfred. Thank you. So let me just share my presentation. And we talk from here. So a lot of us constantly hearing about project management. And you want to talk about the different careers, you want to know where you are, what you have done, and how you could probably move. You may do different courses, you may do different programs, and you say, but I'm not getting, many persons will call me all the time and say, well, Shafani, I've done this and I haven't gotten a job. So let's chat about career paths. Now, these are the different levels of project management. Now, there are many others, and we'll discuss as we move forward in other conversations as well. So you have a project manager, program manager, a portfolio manager. You'll also hear about the agile project manager and the head of the PMO, project management office. So majority of us, when you do, let's say you've done a degree or professional certifications, I will call it professional certifications, you can get a job of a project manager. So a project manager can be in any field. You could have what we refer to as a digital project manager. You have a construction project manager. You may have a healthcare project manager. And you have the different subject areas that you may have a project to run, and you call them the knowledge area project managers. So you may say, well, how do I get those types of jobs? Of course, you must understand the project management framework in order to first know how to get into one of these jobs. And then it's always recommended, if you are now a digital project manager or a construction project manager, you must now know what the content is about. You may not be a subject matter expert in those knowledge areas because you should be a subject matter in project management, but then you should be able to take that in any field. But you still have to understand the jargon, the information. So like what I constantly say, Ruth, all the time about myself, I'm a trained project manager. I could manage any type of project, running from construction to IT, but I may not be a subject matter in construction. However, I understand the project management jargon. And you have to be able to do that. You have to know that. Otherwise, you will not be able to operate in this environment. And then persons will say, well, you don't know the subject area, so then you can't be a project manager. So my story goes like this. My first degree is management information systems. And of course, after becoming PMP and understanding all my project management knowledge, I could run any type of IT project. And I have lots of experience in tech. But over the years, I got heavily into facilities management. And facilities management was not my subject matter, but I got into it because of project management. I got into it because of project management. And that's what I want to tell persons always, that you can get into something because of project management. So because of my strong subject matter is project management, then it can take me in any particular field. And that's how I ended up in facilities management. But I had to still understand facilities, I had to learn many, many things in FM. And I mean, I became not a subject matter, but I understand facilities to teach it as well now. So over the years. So the point that I'm trying to keep getting to people, when you want to enter into the field of project management, what do you need to do? You need to understand it is a methodology that you have to become an expert in, that you can now say, hey, I know this methodology, I could run any type of project, and then you work around it. So after you understand project management and you got into project management, you will say, well, what is the next thing for me? There is something known as a program management, where program management will manage, you will be able to manage multiple related projects. So you have in organizations, we may have a series of projects and we now hire program management people for that. Now, program management is a wonderful area to get involved in as you grow in the field of projects. Portfolio management, again, in your organization, you are now going to be able to look at a portfolio of programs, a portfolio of projects. And these are things that, your career can grow, and you need to understand, certifications. I will always preach for doing these things, right? Because it gives you better exposure, the certifications, rather than the degrees and the bachelors in these type of information. You will also hear about an agile project manager. Now, an agile project manager is not at a higher level than a portfolio. It is just a different type of project manager. When you want to run a project, you will talk about a waterfall approach, the traditional approach to run projects. That is the typical project manager. If you're working on construction projects, you run using a methodology, which is a traditional way of doing projects, which is the waterfall way. But then you have the agile project manager, which speaks about project management and a different methodology, which speaks about that you don't need to have the entire plan before you can implement it. You don't have to have the entire plan before you can implement it. So agile project manager it's something that you will see growing a lot in our industry. I recommend people to understand the agile way, and you can definitely grow in those fields. Now, I see, Joshua already jumped in live in the conversation as well. It's something I've been saying all the time, that projects are there, right? We just need to get the jobs, right? I mean, obviously we need to get the jobs. There's LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, you definitely can get jobs depending on how much you speak. You will see projects coming into your feed that you can apply. So when persons tell me, well, I'm not getting something, I say, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. There are many projects, and we're no longer competing in one market. We're competing as global citizens, where you could run any type of project from wherever you are, especially if it is tech projects. So the agile project manager, coming back to that conversation, the agile project manager allows you to run agile projects. It is a field that is really growing due to the fact that agile, you see a lot more benefits with agile than traditional, which is a traditional waterfall way. Don't get me wrong, there's still the need for both. But agile would allow me now to run projects and finish it faster, right? Because that to ensure that I go within time and within budget. We have a lot of advantages of running projects the agile way. You could also, as you move up into project management, you could become the head of a PMO, a project management office. And your project management office will manage all the projects for your organizations. So you have a project manager, you have a program manager, you have a portfolio manager, but I'm also bringing forward an agile project manager. What is the agile project manager all about? And you have a head of a PMO. So to get into these fields, right, to actually get into project management, I will always tell persons a professional certification will get you faster in the field than a bachelor's, right? A first degree is good, great. Nobody says no. I have my first degree and all my postgrads and stuff as well. But professional certifications says that you can do something. It gives you the practical knowledge to run projects. A degree does not give you the practical knowledge to run a project. It is made up of many different modules if you're doing something in project management. So a certification allows you to get faster knowledge and better knowledge, and let me not say better, but more practical knowledge in the field of projects. So professional certifications, that's projects for project management. How do you grow? How do you get experience? Because you say, well, how do I get experience? You know, I get that question all the time. How do I get experience in the field? And I say, you need to build a portfolio. Now, I'll do another presentation on that before the ending of the year, how persons can actually create their own portfolio. It is something that is lacking for our industry because you see portfolios for artists, as I keep telling people. You see portfolio if you're a singer, you know, if you have records and stuff, more for the creative. But you don't have for our project management industry. Ruth, you saying something? Your hand is up. You want to say something? No problem. Ruth, no? You could type if you don't want to speak. Yeah, I saw your hand.
Reacting to what you're saying. Yeah.
Oh, you're in agreement. Good. Thank you. So
yeah.
You need to be able to create a portfolio of the work that you do. So we have to learn that, right? So you have your certification and you say, I'm not getting a job. But how could you get a job if you're not showing what you can do? So there are different categories, there are different ways that we want to show. You could put it up on a site, a website. You can just, create your profile that somebody can click on it and see all the different portfolios that you do, all of the different projects, which is important. And program management is something that you could move up to, right? So you can't just jump to a program manager like that. You have to have a certain years of experience. But some people might say, well, do I need to be a project manager before I be program manager? And I say, no, it's not necessary, but you have to have a number of years of experience, right? That you'll be able to manage multiple related projects. It is a very important role if you are talking about business transformation and you want to reinvent your organization. You could do it under a program. I've worked on programs like that where you say it's a business transformation and then you get a series of projects for people to do. So program management definitely works like that. You have portfolio. It's a very strategic thing. Then we are speaking about an agile project manager. And the agile project manager is different from the traditional PM. Now, looking at this, I know you may be saying, but what do you think I should do first? Should I do project management, which is the PMP, or should I do the agile project manager, which is an ACP? Which one might get me the job faster, right? So really, if you're looking at Trinidad projects, the PMP will get you quicker into a job rather than the agile, because the agile is going in Trinidad, right? However, you're not competing for Trinidad jobs. Well, I'm talking Trinidad because this is our home country. But if you're competing for another job on the global market, you can do agile as well. So for me, I recommend that you do both, right? Because you want to be able to show that you could do agile projects and you want to be able to show that you could run waterfall projects. I know some persons who have done the agile. They're not Caribbean based, they're more international based, and they do get a lot of agile, but they are saying that they wanted to do the waterfall too because there's still so much need for it. So I told them, I say, I totally agree. That's why I preach both. You can't say one over the other. However, if you are in a very high technological environment, or that is where you want to go, and you're in tech projects and you don't intend to move out of technology, agile is definitely the way for you, right? But if you're growing and you're looking for it and you don't know where you are, you should do both. Waterfall and the agile. And not only do both, to be able to understand how those things operate. So these are some of the different levels as we move from project management to even ahead of a PMO. Of course, it's experience, but my recommendation from how you could move from project management to ahead, if that's what you want, is to always get volunteer. You always have to volunteer in organizations. You could work alongside somebody. A big part of this conversation as we move forward in other things is about mentoring and coaching. So work alongside people. There are a lot of persons that will do it. Mentor, and you just want to learn something from somebody. Look at these kind of forums. Caribbean Connect, we are all Borderlink, we are all part of growing a community. So just register with us. We'll always send out newsletters, things like that. Free resources just to keep building communities as well, because that's how people would grow. So project management, program management, portfolio, and the agile and the head. So how do you move, as we said, from project manager to that is through mentorship. To me, this is something that is so necessary. We don't have it a lot. Recently, I would say after COVID, I am seeing it a lot more, the mentorship and coaching. So I would see that really as an advantage of the pandemic. A lot of people, started to think about, their growth and talking to different persons and just speaking to different persons. They were being coached and mentored. And I didn't even realize that I was doing that with persons. So I said, but wait, this is something that is really, really necessary. So, that's how we continue the conversation. So, team up with people like that. Team up with people like that. See how you could probably learn one thing from them. Yeah. Work on some projects. You may have to work on it with not with any fees. So if you need experience, you need to get the experience. So I myself, what I tell persons, I will have a lot of projects, and sometimes I just want persons to assist me in preparing the documentation and preparing the methodologies. So that's how I use certain students to get experience. And then, of course, you say that you worked on some of my projects, right? So look for those things. Volunteer, right? Volunteer. Look at communities. When I say communities, the project management communities. And these are just different positions that I wanted to speak about, which is a scheduler, a risk manager, and a project coordinator. So for those of us who are trying to get into the field, because you could be junior, then middle, and even senior, right? So for me, I will look for more senior project management roles. Some persons will look for junior roles. Some people will just look for mid. So if you are looking to you have to look for project coordinating roles. Project coordinator is not a project manager. You would have had to do like what we refer to as CAPM rather than the PMP, professional certification. You work as it's more like an assistant project manager role. You are able to coordinate the project. You are doing more tactical work. Skills that you will be required to do this job would be things like what? Skills would be like tools. What tools do you know? Could you use Excel? Could you use Power BI? Could you use Tableau? Now, I am a preacher of tools. This morning I had a class with Power BI and we were comparing it to Excel. We were talking about it in terms of for project managers and how well, when we present these visuals, how well we can make better decisions. You have scheduling tools like Project and Primavera. These are tools that will quickly get you into the field. You have to know it, though. You have to learn it. You have to know it. So project coordinating roles or persons trying to get into the field, you should really look now at doing these tools, learning these tools. It's a fast way. And it's not, I shouldn't say really fast. It is a way to get information, to be able to tell persons that I can use a tool. Power BI, Tableau, I'll always recommend that you should know Excel and you should know Microsoft Project and Primavera. Now you might say, but there's a lot of work to do. Of course, if you're building your careers, you don't have to do everything all in one. So you look and you analyze what can be done for you. Yeah. And a risk manager it's also a very popular role in project management, where you could actually be now a separate, to understand risk management. So, there is the need for this more and more. You will be seeing this particular area evolving as well, because risk is uncertainty and many things that go wrong could be prevented, but we do not have the appetite or the culture in organizations for risk. So within the project management field, these are things that we should look at doing: risk management. And of course, we have a scheduler. In any project, you need to be able to schedule your projects. You need to be able to schedule your projects. You need to be able to say, okay, what is the start, what is the end date of your project? So schedulers, there's a very important role as well. I will also recommend that persons start to understand AI, because it is a field in project management with AI that will be growing. So AI-enabled data, understanding AI tools for project management. Some persons might try to get more into the programming aspect for projects. Well, I guess that is a different field. But AI, understanding how AI could make our jobs better, is a very important one. And I'll do another a presentation before the ending of the year on AI project management. So 2 presentations that I plan to do. One will be on AI, and another one will be how do you grow in terms of the tools? How do you understand the different tools in project management, and what are the different tools? And I'll also tie in that one with mapping specific career. If you want to be scheduler, you want to be risk manager or project coordinator, the specific skills that you require now for these particular jobs. So those are upcoming presentations that I will do. Are there any questions so far? Anyone? Feel free to type it in the chat. So these are the different levels. So as I said, we would just have this conversation for about 30 minutes. What are some professional certifications on local institution, and would you recommend persons to undertake and attend? Of course, so definitely I will discuss route, and I will tell persons PMP and CAPM, depending on your level. Very, very, very good if you are getting into that field. CAPM and PMP. You also have the ACP, which is the Agile Certified Practitioner. So these are 3 particular courses that I'll recommend. And of course, well, I do these courses as well. I teach them. So you could just send us an email the same way that you came in, Caribbean Connect and Borderlink Resources. Those are our entities here. So yes, those are the courses that I will definitely recommend. So you have a project manager, a program manager, a portfolio manager, agile project management. As we said, there are differences between traditional and agile. Within the environment, if we are looking at Trinidad and Tobago market is now becoming a little heavy into agile. However, you are not competing in the Trinidad market. You can compete in the agile market, in the international market. I tell persons, people say, but how could I get a job internationally? I say, yes, it can happen. You can be on your LinkedIn profile, and on LinkedIn, you can get jobs. I got 2 projects to manage through LinkedIn already. So, and that was just by me talking and sharing in knowledge for persons. That persons contacted me that I didn't even have to apply, right? So I'm sharing this to tell you all it can happen. It happens. So these are some of the levels of project management that I really want us to discuss. These are the levels of project management. A project manager, a program manager, a portfolio, agile project manager, and the head of the PMO. Different certifications that, as you asked Ruth, would be the CAPM, the PMP, and the ACP. These are certifications that will guide you. Now, I don't like to tell persons do these courses because there are reasons for doing it over the degree and over the master's, right? This is how I'll always speak this kind of thing. These certification makes you understand now what a practical way of doing something, right? If you are now starting off in project management, there is the scheduler role. You could become schedulers, you could learn in terms of Primavera, Microsoft Project. These are things that you can definitely develop in. Risk management is always a very, very good area to learn more about. It is evolving right in Trinidad, but you need to have the appetite for it. When I say appetite, organizations, because things go wrong because we don't do risk. That's what we do. We don't do it. And then project coordinator is really a startup that you can learn how to coordinate using different tools. My recommendation always in this environment, if you are starting up in the field, is to learn the different tools. Learn tools, Microsoft Power, Power BI, Excel, Microsoft Project, Primavera, Tableau. These are tools to learn and to know very, very well and to keep, adding skills. So it is all about in growing your career, everybody, skills-based project management. And that's what I want you all to keep understanding. What skills do I need to learn in the project management field? So the follow-up conversations from this, because of course you all will get a recording, the follow-up conversations will be: 1, how do you create a portfolio? 2, what are the different skills specific for different jobs in building your career? And 3, we will talk about AI project management. Are there any questions? So as I said, it was just a 30 minutes because I know a lot of people are going back and, after lunch, your attention span is not very high. Okay, so Ruth, thanks for putting the heart because it means that you enjoy the conversation, I hope. So if there are no questions, are there any questions? Feel free. Yes, hi. Questions, Alfred?
I'm finishing the
degree,
an associate degree in project management with CPN.
Right, I know you.
And I was told, I was suggested that I do the CAPM afterwards.
The which one?
The CAPM after I finish the associate degree.
To do what?
Hello?
What to do after? I didn't get you.
Yes, I'm asking if I'm finished. I'm currently working in the health sector as a clerical assistant, and
right.
I wasn't too sure which field to branch into, but I'm trying to move away from the construction and the engineering fields. So I wonder,
you want to get more into projects.
If you know if there are any opportunities in the healthcare sector for project managers or project coordinators.
Yes, there are with Ministry of Health, but you need the associate degree alone wouldn't be enough. You'll have to do professional certifications if you want to get more into that area, right? With project management, you have to do professional certifications. So that is the first thing that I'll recommend for you, Alfred. You need to do professional certifications with that associate degree. Associate degree will not get you enough at all. Make sense to you, right, Alfred? Okay, thank you. So until we meet again, everyone, thank you very much for coming in after lunch, and that you will be able to continue and learn. So yes, the CAPM, definitely, Alfred, I'll recommend that for you, definitely. Thank you, everybody. You all know how to reach me. Look out for the recording and we'll continue with another one. Thanks again, everyone. See you all.